How has Davos been for you this year? This is your first time. From everything you heard and you've seen, how's it going?
It's been fantastic, Rahul. A great opportunity to meet so many people from across the world, different industries, different backgrounds. There's, obviously, as we know, we're in a world that is in a little bit of a strife, and so to be here at this time, to hear of, sort of what people's perspectives are on protectionism and how that's playing out in the world is very interesting. There's also obviously a lot of talk around climate change, which I'm sure it's my first time, but I'm sure has been a topic of conversation for a while. I think that's very interesting for us, especially from India, looking at how to balance our climate commitments with, economic development. What the right balance is something that we need to find. And then I think what's been super interesting is obviously the timing of this has sort of coincided with the 20th of January and the entire conversation around Trump 2.0, what that means for the US, what it means for the US economy, and by extension then what that means for the world economy and for us, the Indian economy. So I think those are some of the things that I've sort of heard and taken away. So it's been very interesting and also had a very good time.
You're currently on campus at the Harvard Business School doing your MBA program. How has that been so far? You're currently in your last semester, and what's the mood on campus around Donald Trump's presidency?
Oh gosh, that, as you know, is always a little bit of a sensitive topic. So it's something that I don't always engage with with people on. But what I can say, I think my experience at the school has been fantastic. I've also spent my 2 years at the school at a time when things in the world have been in flux. Whether that's the Middle East or just general geopolitics. And so to have that perspective at an academic institution of that stature with peers of repute and global peers and faculty, I think has been extremely interesting for me. And I think from my perspective, and this is my opinion, I think there's a lot of positivity around Trump 2.0. And especially for us as well from India, there's a lot of positivity. So it's been an extremely interesting time. Also a very proud time, I have to say. Firstly, we've had 2 consecutive Indian deans at the Harvard Business School, which is an extremely proud moment for all of us as Indian students on campus. We're also the best represented nation after the US in terms of student representation, which is such a great moment for all of us. So we're truly on the center table at an institution like the Harvard Business School is something that gives us a lot of hope and I think opportunities for the future.
It's a bit like what's happening with American IT companies after Professor Nitin Noria, Shrikant Dattar, he taught me accounts when I was on campus. He's taken over. So it's good. It's like a Indian takeover, not just of the Davos promenade at HBS and also at Silicon Valley.
No, absolutely. Extremely proud. And we see it on campus. I think there's a palpable sense of the opportunities that our country holds and all the potential that our economy holds. I think that's a conversation that's always ongoing on campus, within students, within faculty, in the alleyways. So I think there's a lot of positive sort of talk and narrative about India, our economy, and also our government and how we've sort of been able to change this entire narrative over the last 10, 11 years. And I think that a lot of credit must go to our government.
Many of our viewers may know and some might not. Aryaman Birla's journey is quite unique, and what sets him apart from all other business dinners is the fact that he chose to walk his own path on the cricket field, playing Ranji Trophy for Madhya Pradesh, and from there really pivoting to the world of business. So first talk a bit about what being on the cricket field. You don't expect, I don't say it in a bad way, but you don't expect a Birla to go pad up for Ranji Trophy cricket, rough it out with the teams, move to Rewa in Madhya Pradesh and play cricket with the boys. Why did you do that and why did you give up?
Okay, I'll start with the first part. Look, I think I always played the sport from a very young age. I was extremely passionate about playing the sport. And I think in hindsight, I can say that it gave me a sense of individuality, Rahul, that, and I say this with a lot of humility, that I think coming from privilege, I think I think a lot of people who do come from privilege would feel this. There's always an angst about, creating something on your own for yourself and not relying on the privilege that you come from. And I think, maybe I'm saying this in hindsight, but I think my journey with cricket sort of gave me the opportunity to create a path for myself out of the name of my family at that time. So I think that was extremely important for me to boost my own confidence, to know that if I take to something, I can succeed. And this is very objective. These are statistics that either you get selected on or on the basis of or not.
I heard in the Ranji game you scored a century and saved your team in the match as well. So those, as you say, are objective statistics which speak for themselves.
No, you're being very kind. But yeah, I think that journey taught me a lot. It also gave me the opportunity to look at India, see India from a very different lens, which, to be honest with you, I may not have had the opportunity or may not have done to travel through the interiors of India, get a real sense of grassroots India.
So let's unpack this. First, you said you learned a lot of lessons on the cricket field. What key lessons did Aryaman Birla learn on the field of cricket?
I would say a lot to do with people management and being able to deal with people from different cultures, different backgrounds, people who may not have sort of had the opportunity to see the world or even India in the manner that I've been very lucky to see. So being able to, be in that environment in itself was the biggest learning, on or off the field. On the field, there's always pressures that you're dealing with. You're dealing with them alone. You don't have a boardroom of people to assist you, or my father, or my sister, or anybody. Absolutely. So, you're out there on your own. You can do all the prep in the world that you may like to do. But at the end of the day, it comes down to that 1 second. And that actually has, there's a lot of learning just in that alone. But yeah, I think it taught me a lot about, being able to adapt to different conditions with different people, teamwork, collaboration, a lot of meta skills that you sort of pick up. And in many ways, I think, are transferable to all parts of life and business as well.
And then suddenly you just gave it up. You said, okay, enough is enough, no more. Why did you just give up on something that you invested so much time, energy and effort in?
I think give up is a very strong word, okay. Rahul. I'm not sure if I gave it up. That's not the way I look at it, at least. For me, it was, we pivot all the time from career A to career B. So I don't know why. In my mind, it's not that different. I get what you're saying. So I see that point of view as well. I had played 2 years of Ranji Trophy. I debuted when I was 20. I was very young. Like I said, I think there was a big extrinsic motivation for me also to play cricket. Not only that, of course, intrinsically I loved the sport, but it was also something that I wanted to do to be able to create a name for myself. And I think I was able to do that through my 2 years in Ranji Trophy and playing that. And I came to the realization that my true calling was to be able to go back to the business, or go into the business rather, and continue what I think is just an incredible legacy and history that I've been able to almost just inherit, that I feel super lucky about and extremely privileged for.